So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another album review of The Chill Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm talking about a band that may not be known by a lot of people, but I discovered them because I got a promo, and I receive a lot of promos, and sometimes in those promos, there's some like hidden gems that you listen to and you're like, whoa, this really caught my eye. So the band that I'm going to talk about today, their name is Blind Equation, and the album is called A Funeral in Purgatory, and it came out this Friday, and it's 11 songs, 32 minutes in length. So the sound of the band, they're described as cyber grind. So basically, if I had to describe the sound of this record to a T, it sounds like a metal rave because there's some danceable electronic beats to it, but with those like metal tendencies, especially in the vocals, because there's some vocals on some of the tracks that sound like black metal, but with dance. And I'm like, yeah, that's interesting. You would think like, dance, electronic, and black metal, would that mix? Surprisingly, in this case, yes. So a little bit of background on this band. So the main songwriter, let's say he would be like the Trent Reznor to this band. His name is James McHenry, and this album is 90%. This project is 90% digital. There's no guitars, no bass, no like drums. Everything is digital, and there's a lot of things and like programmed drums. But when they do the things live, there are drums because there's two other members of the band, but James McHenry being like the mastermind behind the sound of Blind Equation. So they're from Chicago, and Chicago, a lot of like great like bands that experiment have come from Chicago. So this album is an album that really, there's some parts on the record where like, should I headbang? Should I mosh? should I dance? I don't know, because it has those type of vibes. And like, when I listened to this album, I was like, I want more.
Holy shit. Yeah, Mikey, I think he likes it.
Yes, just like that. I'm like, give me more of Blind Equation, please. So let's talk about tracks on this record. So the album starts with the Eternal Curse, and right off the bat, you get those scenes like dance vibes with some aggression thrown into it. So you're like, wow, like maybe you're thinking this should not like mesh well together, but it actually, it does it pretty well. And like when I started listening to that track, I didn't expect it, and I'm like, whoa, this sounds like really different. Then you have a song which is this like one of the singles. It's called Nothing, and this one has some black metal vocals, some like electronic, like almost like dance beats, but like very aggressive at times. But then James does some clean vocals, and I thought a little bit of Nine Inch Nails with the clean vocals. But the beginning of the track is very Aphex Twin. If you remember that I Want Your Soul track, like the beginning, it reminded me a little bit of that track. It's a great single, and I think it represents the album pretty well. And right after that track, you get probably one of the most danceable songs on the record, which is called It Feels Like the End. And yes, this features a rapper called Jonasus. Sorry if I butchered it. And when I listened to this, I was like, yay, metal rave.
Dance, dance, dance till you drop. Thank you.
Just like that. You're like, should I dance? Should I mosh? I don't know. And Something I gotta mention about this record that is a plus is the flow of the songs. Every song go into the other song continuously, and that's why it feels like a rave. If you've been to a rave, you know that the music never stops. It continues on. And what Blind Equation does on this album is really great, like how every song flows into the other one. Like it almost feels like it's like a continuous track that doesn't stop. And in this case, it works. There's some maybe some albums that I heard before. I'm like, no, because I can't distinguish it. But here, like you can distinguish when something changes, but it's done like seamlessly. You got other songs that bring some elements of goth into the mix as well. With a song like A Funeral, that one mixes goth with black metal and also what the kids are calling Nintendo core. So it has some sounds from it sounds like old video games. I'm like, Nintendo core, get the fuck out of here. But it really sounds like those old video game soundtracks, which are pretty cool. And they really blend with the sound of the goth on this track. Then you have a song like In Purgatory, which is like a minute and 29 seconds of I would say Nintendo core and pig squeals. And it works, I'm not a huge fan of pig squeals, but I like that on this track. And maybe because it's not like a super huge long track, and here you get some pig destroyer vibes mixed in with this electronic sound. Then you have songs like Relinquished Dreams, which is another one that is like industrial meets goth. There's some parts on the synths here that remind me of a band like The Birthday Massacre, but obviously in a more industrial setting. Another standout track and another one of the singles in the album is Flashback, which features Strawberry Hospital. And what I like about this, because James' vocals are very harsh and black metal, but Strawberry Hospital, she brings you some clean, almost anime sounding type of vocals. A little bit of shoegaze thrown in those vocals as well, which gives the song a different feel to it. Because I like it when you have two vocalists, but they're both doing something different, because there's nothing worse than having the two vocalists doing the same shit. But in this work, having the contrast in their vocals really gives this song a meaning. And Flashback, this song is about remembering good times that happen. So that's a great song. And the album ends with a song like Incomplete, which is the longest track on the record, almost 6 minutes. And here they blend everything that they've done in this album into a epic album closer. So they also have interludes that take a song to another song that I think really work, because there's some albums that the interludes, sometimes they're why are they there? Do they add anything to the album? But the interludes in this album really add to the experience. So the themes in this record, A Funeral in Purgatory, it's obviously there's heavy themes of loss, but the album has a glimmer of hope. And this is an album of contrast, really harsh stuff with some beautiful melodies thrown into it as well. And surprisingly, like I said, they work. So I actually interviewed James McHenry. That interview will go live on Monday, and we talk more about this record. So I'll post the link so you can watch that interview on Monday. But I gotta say, Blind Equation, A Funeral in Purgatory is fun as hell. I had a lot of fun listening to this. I danced, I moshed, I had a good time. It's really a very unique sounding type of band, and I like all the experimentations and mixing of genres. They really go awesome, and I'm telling you, do not sleep on Blind Equation. really cool album. So I want to know from you, Couchers, what do you think of this album by Blind Equation? Comment down below. And if you haven't heard of this band, I would say start with the two singles, Nothing and Flashback, because I think those are really good to ease you into the record, because maybe they're the more accessible of the tracks on this record. So if you like the videos that I'm putting out, do not forget to give me a like, and do not forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already. You know, that helps me with the YouTube algorithm to get to more people like yourself. So until next time, Couchers, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.